Well, England, you had it yourself. This is what is happening in Johannesburg. Hello, welcome.
Good evening, everybody. It's so good to have you here. Now, please turn your microphones on and say hello to me. Hello, please say hello to me. Can you say hello?
Hello.
What's your name? What is your name? Okay, this is a conversational English practice. Every week for 5 years now, we've been doing this free of charge practice for everybody who wants. So please turn your microphone on and say hello to me.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Lisa.
Very good. Where are you from, Lisa?
I'm from Nizhny Novgorod.
Have you been here before? Have you joined our class before? Is it your first time that you are here?
Yeah.
Okay. You're very welcome. So, do you go to school?
Yeah.
Which grade?
11th.
11th grade. So, are you planning to take the Russian national exam?
ЕГЭ, yes.
In English? Do you plan to take it in English?
ЕГЭ?
Yes.
Я не понимаю немного.
That's okay. So, like you said, Russian national exam. You can take this exam in several subjects. I'm asking about the English language. Will you take the Russian national exam in the English language?
Yes.
Okay, very good, excellent. So, what is the name of the book which you study at school?
Spotlight.
Okay, Spotlight 11, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what is your mark or what is your grade in English?
5.
Okay, very good, excellent. So, what is new? Yeah,
What?
how are you doing and what can you say about the latest news? You can tell me a little bit about the weather in your city, whatever you want to say.
Now the 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Matthew, it's you?
Yeah, it's
Very
definitely
good.
me.
Yes. Matthew, please just start the conversation with Lisa from Nizhny Novgorod.
Wow. Hello, my name is Matthew, and I'm from the town of Nizhny Tagil, and I'm in the 11th grade. What else to say? I have no idea.
Just ask something.
Well, what grade are you in? Sorry, I'm hopeless at small talk.
Probably Lisa doesn't know that you are talking with her. Okay, anybody else? Do you want to join us? If you want to join us, please turn your microphone on and say hello to us.
Hello.
Yeah? Anne, can you say hello to us?
Hello, everybody.
Very good. Hello to you. Where are you from?
I'm from Moscow.
Very good. Are you for the first time here, or is it that the second or the third time?
It is the second time.
Okay, so now I remember you. Okay, how are you doing?
Everything is okay.
Mm-hmm. Anything new?
No.
Okay. How about the weather in Moscow?
It is snowing and it's about 0 degrees.
Okay. Do you like it?
Yes.
Okay, I understand. All right. Anybody else? So Matthew, please greet each other. And
Well, hello, Anne.
Hello, Matthew.
Well, repeating my question from earlier, what grade are you in?
I study at 11th grade. And
Yeah,
in what grade do
the
you
same.
study?
okay. So you are waiting for the teacher to make a conversation? I'm not taking the exam. That's not my exam this year. It's your exam. I think that you will be waiting for the computer to start the conversation with you, right?
Yeah, I'd rather do that. So, there are quite a bunch of people here, you know, 10, 11.
And
Where are all they then?
just turn the microphone on and greet each other. And do not think much of me. I can turn off my video so that you will not see me. That's very important for you to make a conversation together. Please turn your microphones on and say hello to each other. I'm not at all. Yeah, please.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
So, what is the weather like today in your region? Whatever is it?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay, I'm Dasha and I'm from Republic of Bashkortostan. I don't know what to say.
Well, it's so good
No
to
one
have you
here
here.
knows.
It's very
What?
good to have you here. Anything new, Dasha?
What?
Anything new?
You?
You know. Oh my God.
So if you ask me, for example, if I have something to share with you, one of my students passed successfully the aviation English exam, which is ICAO level 4. And right now he signed a contract with one of the leading airlines in the world. So that's about my news, just a little bit. Dasha, what about you? What is new?
Okay. I advise you to read English books and learn some simple rules in English, watch English movies, and some more.
Thanks, and что? Что происходит?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, sure. What's your
Okay,
name?
that's all.
What is your name? And again, I'm not a talking head. And
So
yeah.
this is getting weird, and I want to say that I've written my repetitive English exam. You know, the training exam before the actual Russian state exam we wrote at our school, and I have to say that it was quite challenging. I didn't expect that, but the main challenge for me was to reduce the number of words in writing tasks, both the letter and the essay, to fit the regulations.
Okay.
Because I was overwriting, I was off limits for the words. I've written too much, and I ended up just crossing out words to fit into this limit. Well, it's quite annoying because you want to, you know, share your thoughts, and then you just crash in this limit. You want to show how broad is your vocabulary is, and it doesn't let you.
So the question to everybody, what is your piece of advice to Matthew? What would you advise?
You need, or you should.
And again, this is a conversational English practice, and I'm not a talking head. I'm not giving you lectures. I'm not lecturing you. I'm just trying to make a conversation with you, because you are planning to take the Russian national exam, and believe me, if you do not talk, if you behave like you do it right now, so then you will definitely fail any kind of exam. Because you have the chance to talk. Please talk. Say hello. Tell about your news. Ask other people to introduce each other. Try to get to know where other people are from, whatever you want to. But make a communication, make a conversation with other people. This is the most important part. Okay, please go ahead.
Thanks for reassurance. And what else can I say? The listening part wasn't exactly difficult, but I was surprised by fairly, you know, modern politics used in listening. You know, in the interview part, there was an interview about some American newspaper, USA Today, and the last question, the last section of the interview was about the most recent presidential elections in the USA, and how this newspaper was criticizing Trump. And I just, what? Modern politics in listening task? That's too crazy.
I wouldn't say that. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I have nothing to say for this.
So what do you mean? You mean that it was really hard for you to answer the question, or what's the meaning?
No, I was just surprised that some recent political events will just come up. Well, it doesn't really happen like this. This listening part is about scuba diving. It's about you know, some sports, some hobbies, some maybe actors, other creative people, but not about, you know, political affairs. And I was just a bit surprised by this turn of events. But
English not good.
That's okay. For me, it's absolutely normal, I would say, that they take the text from the modern newspapers. Why not?
yeah, I don't say that it's not normal, or I just say it's quite unusual, and I haven't encountered such things yet.
Journalists.
So anybody else, do you want to say what you think of this? We call it in English, we call it a mock exam. And Matthew, another thing which I just wanted to notice is when you pronounce the word event, it should be event. V is when you use your lower lip, like event. So please pronounce it.
Event.
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 Yeah, you cannot pronounce like that. You went. That's a very different word. You went. You cannot do it like that. You have to understand it. Just say very well.
Very well.
No, very well.
Well, very well.
Okay.
Very well.
So, see, they started. See, ladies, when you start a conversation, just say a little bit about yourself. That's kind of see you. I'm trying to. Matthew, please do it. West Virginia.
Wow, West Virginia.
Yeah, it's much
Is it
better.
better?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
much better. So say it again. Volkswagen.
What is that?
Volkswagen. You don't know this car? That's a car from Germany.
Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't realize that I took it as two separate words, and I can't just make it. Yeah, I'm sorry. So,
just say it.
Volkswagen.
Wagon.
Wagon.
Volkswagen. Okay.
Volkswagen.
Very well.
Very well.
Very well.
Very well.
Very well.
West Virginia. West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Even now.
Even now.
Okay, yeah, that's more or less okay. So pronounce the word event like event, but not event. And never confuse these two sounds. I remember my time when I first...
What's the difference?
What is that?
What's the difference?
Two different sounds, V and W. V is the letter V, and what is the sound W? So that's when you pronounce it in the wrong way, then people will not understand you. Okay. Anything else? So you said that it was a really difficult exam. Why was it difficult?
No, it wasn't that really difficult, but this case with the writing part just got me frustrated a bit, because I usually stick to the limits, and but suddenly I find that not only well, I suddenly found that I just had written too much.
So the way out here is, and the meaning is that you didn't practice before. So you have, when you practice writing your essays, always, please always time you. So the meaning of time is you set your alarm clock, or you set your just look at your watch, look at your clock on your cell phone, and time you.
Yeah.
So that's a regular requirement for everybody to write a good essay, and this is kind of a basics, you know. And what we usually say that if you know the basics, then everything will be fine. So, and when you said that you ran out of time, or you wrote too much words, so the meaning is that we have to talk about basics over again, and timing yourself before writing when you prepare for the essays basics.
Yeah, I know it, and I time myself, and I wrote several essays, and also I really succeeded to stick to the word limits then. But now I just found myself running out, and that's why I got really nervous, because it never happened before.
No, we have very few rules for the exams, and I know only 2 rules for the exam. The first rule is follow me, which is do like your teacher told you to do. That's rule number 1. And another rule is repetition is the mother of learning. I don't know other rules. So if you, like you said, you wrote several essays, repetition is the mother of learning. Please repeat it over and over and over and over again until you do it, you do everything on time. That's it. I don't know other rules. Sorry, that's basics.
Yeah,
easy.
I know.
Yeah, sorry about
Anyway,
that.
thanks.
How we should understand right what we write is right or wrong?
I wouldn't say that. Dasha, say it again, please.
How should I understand my words in essay is right or wrong? The construction of the sentences of the text.
Okay. Yeah. So you know that during your school years, let's say you started learning English in the 2nd year or in the 5th year, I'm not sure, but anyway, you've been learning English for several years, and the only thing which we do when we learn different language, the only thing which we do is we learn structures. So what I mean here is that in every book, like you said, Spotlight, okay, I have all of the copies of the Spotlight, beginning from the starter book, and then Spotlight 2, which is the first book. I will show you that it contains only structures. So the only thing what you have to learn from the books is to learn structure. And what we mean by structures is that the way how English is different from Russian. So when we say that, no, we do not say it in Russian like that. In English, we say it like that, but not in Russian. And so this is a structure. This is what you have to remember. I can just think of some examples, just like, for example, I remember one of the structures from my school years. Although the sea was rough, we managed to swim to the shore. So you see, here you have two structures, although, which is very unusual for the Russian ear. It's not easy to translate the word although. Then the sea was rough. We do not say it in Russian like that. The sea was rough, like rough and rude and raw. The sea was rough. We do not say it. But in English, we say the sea was rough. But that's not the most important. The most important part is the intermediate grammar. Intermediate grammar is we managed to swim to the shore, which is managed to is the replacement of can, could. We cannot say here, although the sea was rough, we could swim to the shore. No. The only structure we can use is we managed to. We cannot use could because managed to is the replacement of could. So this is how I learned English. You learn structures every day. If I answered your question, I tried.
How do I learn English?
You can say so, yeah.
Okay. I use books and intermediate level and advanced. The author is Murphy and Grammar Way 4.
Okay. Yeah, I know the books. Murphy is excellent. It's fantastic book.
Понимаешь? Посидела бы, интересно.
Okay. All right, so let's do it in the following way. You know that maybe in some 10 minutes they will stop the presentation because I'm not the owner of this platform, and it's not a paid class. It's class free of charge. So in 10 minutes they will immediately stop. All of a sudden they will stop the class without any warning. Without yeah, maybe they will have some warning. But anyway, I will probably not say goodbye to you, so I'm very sorry about that. But I wanted to show you, like you said, structures. Okay, let's go back to what we did the previous class. I will just show it to you. We talked about this text, distance space travel better as family affair. And I'm trying to, yeah, and you can see that immediately the first line you have this structure which you are supposed to study. Forget the kind of macho astronauts you are used to seeing in science fiction. You are used to seeing. This is a structure of which we do not have in Russian, and this is how we learn another language. You have to learn this. You are used to seeing. This is a structure which you are supposed to know for your Russian exam. Okay, anybody else? Questions, or maybe you want to talk? If not, Matthew, do you remember which question we stopped last time?
Well, we stopped at the second question, and we have finished it, and this way we didn't manage to do the third question because
okay, let's do it now. So Dasha, do you remember the text?
Actually no.
All right. I cannot see Anna. I think that Anna already left. I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, Matthew, will you please read the question 3?
The writer's use of the word colonize in line 33 suggests that he thinks one of the aims of future space travel will be to find new places where humans can settle, explore planets a very long way from Earth, abandon the Earth as a place for humans to live, or establish a completely new way of living.
Okay, so
Well,
see, it's the word colonize in line 23. You said 33, but that's okay. So, what do you think? What is the answer to this question?
I don't really remember in what meaning it was used in line
Yeah, we will go back and
23.
yeah, 23. Yeah, you can read line 23. Probably you will be you better start with line 19, please. Line 19.
In the past, astronauts had to be specially trained and physically very fit to survive in a very small space capsules, but spacecraft size is no longer the constraint it was, making it possible to take ordinary people such as midwives, electricians, and cleaners. For a space crew that is going to colonize space and reproduce for many generations, well, I think it's A.
The
To
answer
find
is A. Okay, and why do you think so?
Because in this context, colonize is meant in its original meaning to find new places to live and settle on them.
So find new places where humans can settle. Well, actually, the answer will be, where is that? Whenever colonization, where is that? Yeah, whenever colonization is done on Earth, it is always by people looking for a better life. So that's this line answers this question. Okay. I see that. Yeah. Yeah, you can
maybe
yeah.
It's slightly illogical because this line this line you pointed to isn't really line 23.
Yeah, but
it's much
again,
it's much early in the text.
Matthew, please have a look at line 23. So line 23 gives you the word colonize. Can you see?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
But the line you were pointing to with the word colonization is a long way up here. And it doesn't really relate to the same subject, because whenever the colonization is done on Earth, not in space, not even close to space, well, it's just kind of illogical for me.
So you see, you have to think historically. When you think of the word colonization, you cannot think of colonization about space because you haven't done it.
Yeah, but it's a good metaphor to explain that maybe like the future processes of space colonization using actual historical examples.
Because this is your real experience. How can you explain something which you haven't experienced? And the only thing which you experience colonization on Earth.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a metaphor because we never colonized anything in space, but we already colonized lots of places on Earth. So the meaning is that whenever colonization that's the metaphor for colonizing space. So that's the logic, and for me, it's absolutely logical. Otherwise, you cannot talk about space colonization because it doesn't exist. All right. Okay. So next question.
Why is it better for the first cruise of space flights to be childless couples?
Okay, just Matthew, hold on. I will just share the screen to show everybody my webpage. I'm sorry about that. And I just want everybody to know. Excuse me. I'm just looking for my webpage. Yeah, here we go. And then because I need to share. So this is my webpage for everybody who is present. And if you want to write something, your comments, your protests, your ideas, please use this webpage. You have this, it is called Emphasized English, or in Russian, it is called like that. So please feel free to go there and use this button, which is testimonials or reviews of my classes, and please go ahead and write down something what you think about my classes. So that was a very short commercial break, let's say. All right, and now let's go back to the book. Okay, so Matthew, why is it better for the first cruise of space flight to be childless couples? So please read the answers and choose the best way.
I've already read the answers, and as if I remember correctly, the true answer is C. Crews need to get used to the environment before having children. But I could be wrong because I don't remember the contents of the text very clearly.
Yeah, but this is that's the correct answer. And like you said, can you explain it from the logical point of view? Can you explain it logically? Why do you think that this is the answer?
Because my memory just tells me that this is something that was discussed in the text a week earlier, but I wasn't completely sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think they used the same or nearly the same expressions to explain why is it better for the first cruise of space flights to be childless couples in the text.
Okay, so the idea was that before having children outside there in space colonization, probably a good idea will be to spend a couple of years or maybe several years outside in space to adjust to the environment, to adjust to the surroundings.
To get used.
To get used to, yeah, I agree. So that's the correct answer, number 5.
Why is it difficult to design morals for space travelers?
Mm-hmm.
I think the accurate answer would be people on Earth will be unable to affect the behavior of space travelers, maybe.
Yeah, that's a very good answer. So how about logic? What is
well,
behind it?
It's nothing but logic because you know, when you're out of in space, there's no way people on Earth can affect you in any way. And they can maybe reach out to you, but that's not guaranteed too. And you're isolated from the society, and God knows what moral or immoral things you can develop.
Do you remember? Yeah. Do you remember examples of this very bad behavior possible outside in space. Do you remember from the text this example?
No, unfortunately
That
not.
is, for example, the members of the crew can make some of the members